Another cast with Trend Following Tyson, and we got a lot of stuff to cover. I'm excited to get back here with you guys. I've got a few things to cover, and this is just not for Trend Following traders because I've got some good stuff on here for swing traders, even for some of you guys that are trading options and calls and stuff like that. Because we're following strength basically, and we're following trends, and we're following stocks that kind of show that they have this tendency to have continuation, so to speak. So that's what speculation's about. We can't decide, we can't guess, so to speak, uh, what stocks are going to do. We can only speculate based off the information we have. So we're using the best information we have to speculate the direction of what stocks are going to do. So, and my favorite, the only way how I see to capitalize on the market, in my opinion, and by ways of doing that is trend following, because there's no other way to capitalize on moves like this if you're not trend following them or swing trading them. But I'm not a swing trader. I'm more of a trend follower. So there's no way really to trade these kind of moves other than you know following this momentum in the longer term. I wouldn't want to trade in and out of this every day. I'd rather buy this and kind of let it play its course, so to speak. So, there's no other way to capitalize on this other than trend following. In my opinion, that's just the way that I choose to approach the market. So, and of course, if people are following this show with me, then there are people that, of course, kind of see things, approach the market from that aspect too. Like I told you guys, on a baseball team, the pitcher doesn't want to be the batter. The batter's not trying to be the outfieldsman. The outfieldsman's not trying to be the catcher. Everybody has their position to play. It's just like the market. Everyone has their position to play based on what talents they have, so to speak, that they can use them to approach the market in. So, so with that being said, I just wanted to cover on some things about the type of people that are viewing the show and who can benefit from it, because we're basically following momentum here. So anybody that's following momentum can benefit from the show. Okay, rather like, and I just gave you guys a number of different um, categories of trading that can fit into. Okay. So with that being said, let's get into a quote from Stanley Druckenmiller, who's one of my most favorite trend following traders, hedge fund managers, entrepreneurs, wealth creators of all time. Someone who puts a really good name out there for trend following. So for anybody who's first time watching the show, before we get into new 52s and things like that, I like to we have to take a look at some notable trend followers and kind of what they have to say, because we have to apply this knowledge into the system, because this knowledge and a lot of other things like that kind of incorporate to the system of trend following. It's the actual mentality behind it. You need to have the mentality, the correct mentality for trend following. You need to take a look at some notable people and kind of uh, gauge, some understanding from notable aspects. So we like to incorporate this knowledge into what we're doing. That way we're making sense. We're not following blind trails. Okay, we'll take it from, like, so to speak. Don't take it from me. Take it from someone who's made quite successful career of it. So Stanley Druckenmiller, everybody, welcome. Please, if you first time hearing about Stanley Druckenmiller, please understand him and kind of you feel free to delve into more of Stanley Druckenmiller in the future. But the way to build superior long-term returns is through preservation of capital, and home runs. When you have tremendous conviction on a trade, you have to go for the juggler. It takes courage to be a pig. All right. The way to build superior long-term returns is through preservation of capital and home runs. So managing risk, but hitting home runs. And to be honest with you guys, isn't that exactly what we've been doing on this show? Managing risk, which is preserving our capital, because we're looking at trends, but we're looking at stops and the right entries, and We're not buying things that, I say, hey, look at this stock, let's buy it, and then, the next day or so it's lost 50% value. We're looking at stocks that are having continuation, so we're preserving that capital with the stops, but we're trying to hit home runs. And to be perfectly honest to you guys, we've hit quite a few home runs on this show. So if it's your first time joining us on this show, we have hit quite a few home runs here. Quite a few. All right. And we're taking that straight. So if we can do this, listen to this. Listen to this, guys. Listen from just listen to Druckenmiller for 1 second. The way to build superior long-term returns is through preservation of capital and home runs. If we can do this consistently on a long-term basis, this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. We're talking about consistent trend following, the right mentality over a long period. Maybe that be 5, 10, and I suggest 5 to 10 years before you really start looking at getting some, some returns back on, before you start really looking at some compound. Kind of give it some time for things to compound. But if you can do this long term, this is the way to build superior long-term returns. If you can build superior long-term returns in the long term, my gosh, if you can hit home runs in the long term and preserve capital, oh my Lord. Don't take it from me, take it from Druckenmiller. All this is possible, guys. All right? That's why I opened this show up with people like this. With outstanding people like this. This is like opening up with the quote from Jordan every day, or a quote from Floyd Mayweather, or opening up a quote from Derek Jeter, or opening up a quote from Babe Ruth. This is precious stuff here, guys. Highly successful. I love Druckenmiller. All right, love everything he's done for trend following, everything he stands for, and would like to take some of his words and kind of. But this is beautiful. This is everything I stand for in trend following. This is what I stand for. This is what I aim for. This is what we're aiming for on this show. We won't be here just in 2018. We're going to be here in the long term, and we're going to keep following these trends. And all right? So I'm really excited, you guys. I'm really excited. I get excited every time I can just see the possibilities if you do things correctly, all right? You got to look at the last part. It takes courage to be a pig. All right? Some of these stocks I feel real conviction on. And let's listen to another part. When you have tremendous conviction on a trade, you have to go for the juggler. Sometimes, you guys, that's the reason why I'm bringing these stocks to you guys, because I just have this conviction in me. It's like, don't forget to put this one. Don't forget about this one and that one. Right now, you guys, I've got a list of about 20 tickers. I don't believe I'm going to cover all of them. But I've got, because, what we're going to do here today is look at some new 52s, all right? And we're going to look at how to set some buy stop orders, some buy stop limit orders, some buy stop orders to get you inside of trends, to get you inside of trades, okay? So with that being said, thank you very much from Druckenmiller. Man, that just gets me so pumped up. Let's get into the trend, you guys. Let's get into the new 52. So as markets close Friday, these are the new 52s you guys can be looking at coming in. This is some momentum you guys can be looking at coming into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, into the week until we update things and take a look at things, all right? And like I said, if you're following momentum, these are good for calls. I've made money on calls on the show from the momentum we've been following here. I've made coins from TNDM momentum, coins from I momentum, coins from DNR momentum. Okay, we're just following the momentum. These are new 52. So when the markets close Friday, I updated the stocks, and these are new 52s. And may I add something, guys? What's quite odd here? Half of these stocks are the same stocks that we were looking at 3 or 4 weeks ago. So it's not about buying 100 different stocks. It's about following, hitting that home run, like we just heard from Druckenmiller, hitting that home run. And when you hitting the home run and trend following is taking an entry on a trend and staying with it until it fulfills. You never know, it goes tenfold. All right, I showed you guys entries on here, HEAR, back at $5, $6, $7, $8, $5, $6, $7, and that thing's at $16, $17 now with the 20-cent stop. That was about 20 R's. All right, return back. So here's DNR, guys. Looking for this for some continuation. Sorry, I'm just a little bit excited. All right. You gotta love this. You gotta love this market. You gotta love what we're doing here. You know, you gotta have a passion for what you're doing. So let me show you guys something. So here's DNR. I like it for continuation this week, you guys. So watch it to break over this area. So like I said, so I wanted to show you guys something about buying stop, buy stop limits. Okay, buy stop orders. Okay. Buy stop orders, all right? So using a buy stop is like making an entry to a trend or making an entry to a breakout. All right, and here's one way how to make this entry on this here's one way to make this entry on this DNR on a buy order, on a buy stop. Here's how you would set a buy stop. You identify the breakout area. So here's the breakout area. We're on the yearly. So you look at the yearly. This is the highest point. Look at that. So wonderful, guys. Look at the trend line I drew here. We started watching this thing breaking out of here. All right. So look at the points we hit. Talking about hitting home runs, guys. That's one right there. We literally took in Druckenmiller's words and totally turned it into life right on this show. Because the home runs we hit. Literally taking his words, turning them into life. We're taking these highly successful trend followers' words and bringing life to them right on the show. All right? Because we're hitting home runs, guys. We're hitting home runs. And that brings me to another point. My next show will be, you guys, how to make entries on the trend line and how to ride waves off the trend line. Making entries off the trend line, which is one of my favorite things. Which is something I showed you guys what we were doing here on DNR. We made an entry on the trend line. Remember what I tell you guys sometimes? Sometimes you make an entry on this trend line and what happens? You make an entry here. You don't get stopped. You know, we play it safe. You identify the trend line. Put your stop just below it. Give it some space. Okay? In case things try to bounce below it. But things sometimes, most of the time, break out of that trend line and kind of go parabolic. So what I'd like to bring to you guys is the possibility of DNR going parabolic following this oil wave. All right? Possibly going, it's already broken out of the trend line that we are watching here because this would be the trend line here. We'd be following it here. So we've already broken out of it. And sometimes when things break out of trend lines, out of normal trading supply and demand zones, so it broke out of this demand zone here. This was where the demand was meeting at, and it broke out of this demand zone. Okay? And now we're starting to get parabolic. So watch that stock for some major, I'm not exactly sure. I don't want to, I'm not a predictor, but just watch the activity on this stock. All right? So if we were gonna set a buy stop here, identify the highest point, that's the breakout point, which is right there. We've identified it on the yearly. Now we're going to pan into a closer time frame. And you're going to say, okay, when this stock breaks out of here, I want to buy it. So I'd set a buy stop at 425 to trigger this. 425 to 430. Let's say 430 to make sure prices are actually moving. All right, and it's not a false breakout. All right, and I'm gonna give you something to stop that false breakout. Never set an order, never set an entry without setting a stop below it or a stop for it. Okay, never make an entry without setting a stop. All right, so breakout price 430, 425 over this candle, 425 and 430. You set your buy stop. You set your buy stop. You set your buy stop limit. Okay. The market will automatically trigger your order, and then you set your stop. I would set a stop below this. If we can't turn this into support, I wouldn't want to trade it. If we can't turn this level here, these levels here should turn into support now. So buy 425, stop 415. Okay. 415 to 413, which is where it's sitting at basically right now. All right. Buy the trigger at 425, stop 413. All right. I like to give myself some space. You know, let's say 410. In case prices come here. But if prices start closing below this, that means it's a false breakout. So I wouldn't want it below this area here. 415, 413. Okay. So buy, set your buy, identify your breakout area, and you say when we break out of this, that means we are continuing. So just imagine, guys. Let's just take a look and see. Let's just look and see if we did that. If we had did that. How that would have worked out. So let's say this. Prices stopped here and prices came here. Look at the trend here. Prices came here and collapsed down. Okay, so you would say, look, if this thing's really going to continue, once we break above this 246, I'd like to set a buy at 250. Okay, and your buy would have got triggered here. And a lot of times when things break out of areas, guys, you're going to see like a candle like this, signifying that we're actually going to break out of this area. We're actually going to really break out of here. We're not going to just like, this is not like the fake thing anymore. This is the real thing. So when you see this, this is like a breakout, okay? You set your buy here at 250, and you say, and you just set it and forget it. You set your stop. Always give yourself some room. Don't just stop yourself out of trades, because that's our purpose of getting in this thing. Is if it's going to continue, we want to roll with it. So don't stop yourself out of the big move. Let yourself get in that big move. Give that thing some room to wiggle around. All right? But if we would have bought this breakout at 250, where are we at now, guys? 413. And still getting ready to continue here. If you bought this breakout at 250, if you set a buy stop here to trigger your buy stop, if you set a trigger here for the market to trigger your buy stop, boom, you got triggered, boom, at 250. And then look where you're at now. That's another home run like Druckenmiller. All right, so I wanted to give you guys that on buy stops. All right, so look for continuation on DNR. That's a new 52-week high. BLFS, my gosh. Surprisingly, this stock has made it to the new 52s, and this was one stock I told you guys to watch out that I traded in this area earlier this year. Let's pan out a little bit. You guys remember BLFS? I said I traded it wonderfully from this point all the way into here until it, and I failed to set a buy stop myself. I failed to set a buy stop limit here. I failed to set a buy stop here, and this price has rallied on without me. Okay, guys? So that's a way how to get back into an uptrend. Another way to get back into an uptrend, if you ride this uptrend, okay, good, take your profits here. All right, around here, prices start, retracing or going into consolidation. All right, and you say, good, that was this wonderful trade there. Now, when prices break out of this area, don't let me miss this move. I caught this. Don't let me miss the rest of it. Let's trade this thing right. That's the way you trade the whole move, guys, in my opinion. That's the way you trade the whole. You catch as much as you can. You like to say you identify the trends first as quickly as you can. Oh my God, guys, we're lifting off. This is an uptrend. Let me get long. Boom. Long at $2.53, $3, whatever. Break out over this. All right, fine. Ride this wave up like I did. I rolled this wave up here. I got in around 354. Rolled this wave clearly up here. I didn't know if it was going to go to 9, 10, 12. Rode it up here. Got stopped out. And I just failed to buy this. So make sure you put your buy stops in to trigger your entries. So you don't have to watch, just be like an eagle to watch all these darn stocks. All right, so that's BLFS. I like that for continuation. I like the strength behind this thing. I like what this thing is doing. All right. And you can even set up another buy. You can even set another buy breakout. Another breakout. All right, on this stock over 912. Over 912. It looks croggy on this 5-day. That's real. I really don't want to. Kind of want to use this 5-day. It looks just so horrible. All right, but breakout over 915. Set your buy stop to get triggered over 915, and boom, business as usual, guys. BLFS for continuation. The container store, TCS, another strong, wonderful stock here. Nope, this isn't it. Let me get the correct stock in here. TCS, the container store. All right. Look at it on this time frame. See how wonderful it looks. New 52s. So another brings me to another point, guys. Who gives a darn about if the market's sideways? I mean, yeah, that's true. Let's keep it, so to speak. All right. It's notable to make sure we know that the market's kind of all screwed up. Fine. But does that mean that you have to be all screwed up with the market? Does that mean you can't follow these moves? What the heck do I look like? What in the heck do I look like being a good trend follower, worried about the SPY being sideways and all these other stocks and, the indices being sideways? Who gives a darn? There's still moves you need to follow like this. I told you guys, this is the new 52s from last week, Friday. So evidently, although the market is quote unquote sideways, there's obviously some strength out there. There's obviously some stocks that are still moving, correct? Okay. Trend following 101, guys. I diversified portfolio. You gotta trade different stocks, especially if you're trend following stocks. Gotta have a number of different stocks, manage your risk inside of all those stocks, but hit the home runs. Still got home runs going on, guys. Look what happened here in 5 days of trading, from $6.50 to $8, and you're talking about a sideways market. But meanwhile you're missing this move. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't even advise anyone to do it. I wouldn't advise anyone to say, hey, yeah, trade the market at sideways. Like, no. You guys check the trading room with Stock God and the other Discord room. Bull Bear made $1,000. A few guys in there making $1,000 a day. Those guys aren't worried about the market being sideways and all that kind of stuff. All right, guys still got to make a profit, man. DDE, we talked about this stock not too long ago. All right, for continuation, I like this thing, showing some strength still. All right. You don't have to buy the breakout here. There's other ways to enter a trend. Sometimes I like to just make an entry. All right, and say, look, if we stop trading below this area, I'm out. If we stop trading below, if we can't hold this $2, I'm out. But I'll make an entry at 218 for the continuation with the break above this, because prices are already continuing. You don't have to necessarily wait for a breakout. And you see these little tiny candles, they're starting to get bigger. We're starting to grow some volume here, some volatility. All right, you guys remember we talked about volatility and risk management, how people in life, if people that look at risk and hear the word risk and get terrified of it, but if you don't take any risk in life, that guy that doesn't take any risk in life is actually risking everything in life, because he's not even taking a risk. Same thing in trading. If there has to be risk. I mean, once you buy a stock, you're already at risk. Any stock you buy. There's no way to trade stocks without having any risk. I mean, seriously. Same thing in life. I mean, once you come in the wound, you're already at risk. I mean, anything could happen. Same thing with stocks. You have to manage that risk. Wealthy people look at risk like a necessity. It's like a opportunity. And scared traders look at risk like, oh my God, the word risk. It's like, no, you need risk. What are you talking about? You have to have that. for anything. So I'm looking at this risk here. $2 stop for continuation on DDE. Sorry, guys. I get a little carried away with my little CTIC for continuation. I'll just get through these tickers quickly. I wanted to prove my point on breakouts, though. Buying stops, okay? Buy stop orders. Buy stop limit orders, all right? How to set a buy stop and let the market trigger your orders. So I like continuation on CTIC. Look at the strength there. Look at that. In the last month, this thing has gone parabolic. So look for the strength to kind of like continue here. Let's look at the yearly on CTIC, and look, we're clearly over breaking out. All right. So I like this thing to continue this strength, this momentum. CTIC for continuation. It's a new 52. All these are new 52s, guys. EGY. This whole energy thing. I got another stock I'm going to give you guys later, but it's not part of the energy thing. It is part of the energy thing, but it's not a new 52 part of it. So you see this stock going parabolic, breaking out of this area. All right. And then continuing on. Stock looks wonderful. EGY. Look for continuation on that thing this week. Look for some strength to follow on there. Oh, I like this Chinese stock here. FAMI. It's getting parabolic, and it's a fairly new company. I like new companies, guys. When I see new companies, it's like opportunity. Sometimes you see a new, if you look back and track a stock, you say, man, when this stock first opened up, you had a signal right away that it was going somewhere. So look what this stock did. As soon as it came into the market, so as you can see, it's a fairly relatively new stock. But sentiment for the stock, as soon as it came into play, just took off. So I'm looking for this thing for continuation. FAMI. That thing can run all year long. I don't know. All right? Thing could be a $30 stock in a month. Talking about home runs from Druckenmiller, guys. All right? Wisen up. FAMI for continuation. Strength. JFN. General Finance. Here goes one of these finance stocks. This banking thing, this finance. Look at this strength. Don't tell me anything about following trends, guys. Sometimes you come into a point in life and you say, look, this is what the strong, the people that are successful say. They say, look, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do this until I'm great at it. All right? And I'm gonna do this until I'm great at it, or I'm gonna die doing it until I'm great at it. All right? That's what great people do. Remember what I tell you guys about stocks that want to break out of certain areas, and you get these bars that are kind of signifying, like, wait a second, it's really going to be a breakout. All right, so here you see this bar here. Why is that bar there, guys? Here we go. Because we were actually breaking out of this. See this? See this area here? You guys seen all my other shows, so we already know what resistance is. So stock fell to, all right, bang, 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 resistance. And then you got this candle that says we are going up and we're moving out. And if you would have bought that, if you would have said, wait a second, all right, this is the area here that I'm looking for. If we break out of 550, let me set a buy. Let me get my prices triggered at 550. Let me set a buy stop limit order at 550, and let me get my prices triggered. Boom, look it. Where are you at now? You're at 10. You're at 11 and going still. Remember what I said about home runs? It's not like, oh yeah, I got it 550. Oh, let me take my profits here at 640. No. Trend following is now, if what brings me to another point, we don't have price targets in trend following. We don't have price targets. Because if you would have said, oh yeah, I just want this 5 and I'll take that. No. You're failing to capture this move. And at this point, you still don't have a sell signal. You still don't have a reason to sell that thing. All right? And this is, and I said, and I was wondering to myself, I said, wait a second, why is this candle so giant right here? And I said, okay, it was signifying that it was actually wanted to break out of this $9.90, $10 area. Okay, and it didn't want to just like, oh, let's just flirt around. It was like, nah, it's a breakout. It's the real thing, guys. All right, GFN, GLUU showed you guys a lot of these stocks we've already showed you guys a few weeks ago. So some people are still long. I know a few of these I'm still long on. I'm long on DNR still. I'm long on TNDM, you know, a lot of these stocks. But GLUU looking wonderful, guys. Look at that strength. What I say about rounding bottoms, my favorite little signal. What I say about this, you guys know this is my bread and butter. All right, we had this. I said, all right, you see this stock rounding here, and then where is it going? Surely, I'm not a guesser. I hate to just make so many assumptions. I hate people that do that. But what is the sentiment here, guys? Does this look like continuation or not? Yeah, definitely does. Okay, all right, thank you. So I like GLUU for continuation, guys. GLUU. I would set a buy stop here to get some prices triggered over 580. Breakout over 580, stop at 570, 575. Once we start getting into 570, so you could just stop yourself out here in case it's a false breakout and this thing starts like unwinding and totally crashes on itself, and your people that don't follow, you know, they listen to CNBC and they listen to Kramer, and he's like, hey, buy this stock, and it's like, oh, all right, so what if it crashes, Kramer? What if I buy it at 5? What if I buy it now? If I call the show and I say, hey, Kramer, should I buy GLUU? Oh, yeah, buy GLUU. It's a great stock. All right, and I buy it, right? And it starts freaking crashing, right? And you're like, where do I get out? It's like, you don't get out. I mean, you just call Kramer back. No, we're going to stop out in case prices start reversing, all right? In case this is a false breakout. Buy the 580 breakout over 580, 585, and stop yourself out at 570. In case it's a false breakout. All right, you want to just sit there all day. LIND, I failed you guys last week. Last time I wanted to show you LIND, and I showed you something different. I believe it was like an exchange from Colombia or something. So this is the real LIND. The real LIND. This is the real LIND. Seriously, guys. No. LIND, I showed you guys last week, a few weeks ago. Look at this wonderfulness. This is exactly why I showed you guys this stock. All right, you see this? Look at that. Strength. This is all we're following, is strength. So I like LIND for continuation. This is on the new 52s. All this is new 52s, guys. LIND for continuation, all right? LIND. Oh, another stock I really like, and I may add this to my portfolio. I may take a position here, P5, following this whole energy thing. This is one of my other favorites to follow energy right now. All right? P5, PFIE. All right? This is another one of my favorites right now to follow this whole thing right now. I like this stock for continuation. I really do. All right? What did I say? What did I say about rounding bottoms and trend following? What'd I say? I love it when I'm not proving myself like I'm a liar, like I'm like these guys that like these fake gurus and stuff. Like I'm not one of those guys. Everything I say when I show you stuff, it will give its own proof. It's like, well, what about that rounding bottom you're so sure about, mister? Well, here it is. Right there. There it is, the same rounding bottom we've seen on 100 different stocks on this show. And they're still making money. We're still taking entries on rounding bottoms, all right? Money every time. I like P5. I didn't even know it had this rounding thing. I didn't even know why. I didn't even realize that until I panned out. Remember what I tell you guys about you learn something else on this show? Pan out and get the actual visual of what's going on with the stock. You're never going to know if you don't pan out. You won't understand where a stock's going. Like, why does the stock have so much momentum? What's going on here? It's going somewhere. All right? Follow it. Don't guess it. Just, god darn it, get on that bus. All right? I like P5 for, look at that. Wonderful news. Oh my God, I can do this thing for the rest of my life. Following these trends, following these stocks. So I like P5 to break out over that 480 area, set you a buy in there, and kind of ride that momentum out. All right, let's get to TNDM. I made some calls on this. This is a new 52, guys. A stock that we've been following for 3 weeks now. 3 weeks. Almost a month. 3 weeks. We were following this thing back here. Okay? Before the month of May. Before May, we were following TNDM. Before May. All right? May 1st, late April. But definitely, early. All right? So there it is right there. TNDM, just a monster, guys. I like this thing for continuation this week. All right, follow the strength. Don't ask any questions, darn it. And you see this stock looks so much better on the 5-day. All that volume and all that trading and all that yumminess in it, yummy. And I like to see this. All right. I told a guy in my trading room. I said, you don't want to see a stock just gapping, and have no way to congest it, to consolidate those gains, to kind of consolidate those gains and say, yeah, these are official gains. These aren't like FURU gains. Like, oh, I thought we were trading at 12. What happened, guys? You're at like 10 now, or like 8. No, like this thing's holding its gains. You need that congestion, all right? I love this thing right now. I love the strength behind this thing, all right? What did I say about breakout areas? See this? Stock came to exactly $12. Stock came to exactly 12, and the market needed to congest that 12. So what did it do? Came down, and what were you supposed to do? Set a buy at 12 to trigger your buy. That's what you were supposed to do, all right? And what did I say about that? I said, when you see these larger candles, sometimes it's signifying a stock to say, we're breaking out of a key area. We need some strength. And you see these bars coming in. And boom, there it is. Trend following with Tyson, guys, at his best. Show you guys I and show you guys HEAR, and we're going to get out of here. I'm still long. I hope you guys still are, because we were looking at this stock for over a month, way before May. All right? We were looking at the stock before the month of May, guys. Trend following with Tyson, we've been here for some time, for a little bit. And, we're all about listening to guys like Druckenmiller and hitting those home runs. Not about, like, buying and selling. Jesse Livermore said, if you're in a bull's market, you're in a bull's market. All right? That's it. You're long. That's it. You're long. You don't buy and sell in a bull's market. You stay long. So we're still long on I. This is still a winner. Jeez, guys. Oh, my God. This stock just ceases to amaze me. That's why we ride strength. We don't question the strength. We just ride it out. I took an entry on this thing at 606, 612, 605 in that area. My Lord Jesus. Look what we have done since then. Another winner. Home runs with trend following Tyson, guys. What did I say? The way to build superior long-term returns is through preservation of capital and home runs. What is that? That's not a home run. I don't know what is. Maybe you guys that are one of you haters out there, that ain't a home run. I mean, if it was really, it's a home run, asshole. It is. All right? It's a real home run. I'm not letting you haters take that. That's a home run. Well, technically, no. Don't give me your restraints. Don't give me your noise. Don't give me any of that. It's a home run. All right? Oh, God. Here's another home run, guys. Can't say I didn't show you this thing before this happened. Go back. Go back to trend following with Tyson. Go back a week. Go back 2 weeks. See when when this show started popping up in the titles and stuff back there. Go ahead and take a look. All right? All right, guys. I'm out of here. I've been on here for far too long. I'm starting to creep people out now. See you guys next week. See you guys in the middle of the week. We'll update some stuff on trend following with Tyson. And I just can't. I have a job to do here. ENPH. All right, I have a job to do. This stock was breaking out, and it did break out like we thought it would, like we said it would. Broke out of this area, and now what did it do? Turn this into support. See? Support here. So I like continuation on ENPH following that energy thing. And why are we following that? Because look, where are we at with this? Where are we at with ENPH, guys? We're rounding here. How many rounding bottoms have we saw fulfill and come clearly up here? How many on this show have we? How many rounding bottoms have we saw come here clearly when you pan out on the time frame and you see the price sentiment, the price action? What is the price action doing here? All right, trend following with Tyson as best, and I will see you guys in the middle of the week. I might do something else this week on some learning stuff, but definitely on my another show coming up for you guys will be entering on trend lines, trend line entries on trend lines. All right. Hope you guys. Hopefully that buying stops was notable to you guys and knowledgeable to you guys. All right. All right. Thanks.